Calvin, thank you very much for jumping on a call and having a chat with us while you're out there in Victoria. I mean, you've been out there for nearly 4 months now. Do you want to talk us through, I guess, where you've been and what you've been up to?
Yeah, it's been really good. It's gone very quickly, and there's only like 4 weeks left. The last two-day games really that we're starting tomorrow. But it's been a cool experience for sure. It's been nice change, away for the winter, getting or continuing with a little bit of match sort of practice and different sort of training, obviously, in different conditions. So it's been good all around. And to see a different part of the world. This is my first time sort of properly a proper stint here in Australia. So I've really enjoyed it. Have had a chance to travel up and down the coast here around Melbourne. Seen a few nice places, do the Great Ocean Road, and get some good cricket in as well, obviously, and some good training. So it's been a good winter all around. Well, summer, I guess.
The first thing so I want to touch on is actually the cricket itself and how it works, I guess, in grade Victoria Prem cricket out there. What's your sort of training schedule like? What are the matches like? I know you've sort of mixed into 2-day games and T20. So yeah, can you talk a little bit about what your crickets look like?
Mm. Yeah, it's been good. We've gone through sort of all the formats, which has been nice. It's all sort of Saturday cricket. So even the 2-day fixtures are first day Saturday, second day the next Saturday. And then the T20 phase, we have two T20s in a day. So you might play, you'd have three clubs at one club on a day playing three T20s over the day. So we chopped and changed between the 2-day, the 50 over, and then the T20 format. And training wise, we've sort of got 2 or 3, depending on the week that changes, 2 or 3 sessions scheduled a week. In the evenings, obviously after guys finish work. David Elaine is the coach of the club I'm with here, Camberwell Magpies. So he's got, obviously he played at Notson with some of the guys there, Frankie and that I know he played with. So it's been really cool to work with him. Done a lot of good sort of one-on-one work, and it's been nice to have, while we're ticking over the games, like to still continue that sort of, in the winter theme, you get a good chance to experiment a few different things and explore different parts of the game. So I've still been able to kind of do that in and amongst the games that we've been playing. So it's been a nice balance of sort of focused, specific training, which you don't always get to do within a season back home. When you've got fixtures and 4-day games sort of on the back of each other. But you're ticking it over with sort of a game a week, a day of a game a week. So it's been a cool balance for development, and it's been easy enough to sort of stick to a good enough fitness program that I think I've been following the same sort of fitness program that the guys are doing in the winter over there, with the odd bit of variation depending on if it's the day before a game. But generally speaking, I've been able to stick to a decent program. So I've been very happy with how it's gone and how the game's been developing. Obviously looking forward to getting back and seeing all the guys again there, and sort of before we go to Abu Dhabi and get into the season properly back home. So
you've obviously got the benefit now of having experienced the best part of a season out in Australia, spending the winter away, and having spent a winter at home, sort of working in the halls as the lads are now. So, what can you get from doing each of those? What does one offer that the other doesn't, and that kind of thing?
You get a lot of time when we back home in the winter. You get a lot. You get a good chance to really, really focus on getting as strong as you can in the gym. Obviously, not playing games, it allows you to sort of focus on that side of things and get yourself really as fit as you can get. So when you hit the start of the season, you sort of at your fittest, and then you just maintain through the season. You get good chance to work on very, very specific things. You might get, all your video analysis. You can break your skills right down to its basics. And really, really work closely with all the individual, whatever your specific skill coach is. at refining and fine tuning bits of the game that you've sort of spotted or picked up on from the last season that you want to work on and develop. So that's a really good thing about the winters back home. For me, and what I found now, I guess, being over here, I find it really good to obviously keep ticking over with matches, because you get, match practice and developing yourself playing in games is sort of different than you can get practicing indoors. So once you're at a certain point of knowing your game and your technique, then you want to be able to keep applying that into a game. And if you can do that, 12 months all year round, then it's only going to help you keep sort of developing. But it's been, you have to be self-sufficient and disciplined to be able to, when you haven't got coaches around you all the time, to be able to make sure that, the guys are doing, when you're away, doing the work you need to be doing and ticking off all the basics of the gym and the fitness, and doing your skills work and breaking your game down as if it needs to be broken down. Which I think I've felt that's been a really good part of this. I guess it's, it only brings out more discipline in you, and you start to really, really focus on all these little elements that bring together your game and development as a whole. You put extra emphasis on it, I guess, when you come away by yourself, and you have to really control that all yourself.
Yeah.
In an environment where could be very easy to slack off if you're not disciplined. So
yeah, sure. Do you feel like your skill set, bat and ball, has developed from being out there in a different environment? I guess you're playing on different pitches. Yeah,
for sure. I think always, excuse me, about that. Being in different environments is obviously always good for developing your game. The wickets we've played on here, I guess, have been a little bit sort of slower than what I might have been expecting. But still different conditions, different batters, different bowlers that you're facing, different environments you're going into, which is all sort of different bits and pieces of exposure that you're working out game plans. You still have to assess conditions. So that's an art that you have to sort of develop when you go anywhere. You get different pitches around the UK and wherever you play, that you need to go there and assess what's going to work on a given day, on a given pitch, different on any given sort of condition. So it's experience with that side of things has been really good.
Yeah, of course. You mentioned David Lane being the first team coach over at Camberwell Magpies. How soon in your conversations with him, once you arrived, did you bring up the fact that you were both at Notts and you got a few mutual connections there as well?
Yeah, for sure. It was I discussed earlier, obviously. I mean, it's sort of cool little coincidence. But I've been very, very grateful to work closely with him over this time I've been here. And, it's always good to get different perspectives and of your game from different coaches around the places you go. And and I've been lucky to work with him closely now. Obviously keeping in touch as well with the guys back home. So it's been really cool. He obviously puts a lot of time and work into the club here, and you can see even around for, like, I mean, it's a good standard here that I've found, and it's approached very professionally in the way that they approach their club cricket, because guys are sort of have ambitions to obviously play in the domestic game, so they're training and playing obviously with those ambitions in mind, and you can tell by the way it comes across and the way Lano runs runs the sessions and helps with the trainings and everything like that. It's very sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Well directed towards sort of pushing guys into professional cricket. If that's their ambition, obviously the guys can train and practice however hard they want, but the ones that want to, it's definitely set up for them to find their way if they want it.
Yeah. Do you think that improves the standard of cricket? The fact that there is this pathway, I guess, in grade cricket that some people are, looking to still play professionally. You might have guys in their 20s who are late developers and have got a good crack of trying to play state cricket, which might
for
not
sure
necessarily be the case here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you can see the sort of direct link. I mean, we had a couple of guys earlier in the season go up and play in the sort of Victoria second team. I can't remember exactly where they played, but you can see, when guys from your side are getting directly sort of drafted into these teams and getting the opportunities, and from other sides around that you play against in the club sort of Premier League, you can see how close. I mean, for the guys playing, they can see how close they are to, if they perform well and they keep churning runs and taking wickets, that there's definitely going to be an opportunity for them. And like I say, we've had some guys that have been able to get that chance this season, and it's been cool to see. And yeah.
Nice one. You had a little bit of time spent bowling at BBL players as well, from what I understand, around the Melbourne Stars. So do you want to touch on how that opportunity came about and how you enjoyed that?
Yeah, obviously, well, Pete being here with the Stars was ideal for those sort of opportunities, and it was cool to get down there. Obviously, catch up with Pete while he's been over here, and then, I mean, having a chance to go and train with the Stars there, it's you're bowling at some of the best T20 sort of players around, and it's a great experience and bits and pieces of exposure as well. To be amongst those training sessions and put yourself under pressure at trainings, and just to see how things work in that environment, and to be around, obviously the MCG is an unbelievable ground, so that was cool to be in and amongst sort of that facility, to be able to use that was really cool.
And I'm sure that, as you mentioned, there was a chance to catch up with Pete. While you've been in Australia, how has the contact been like with the coaches back home? You sort of alluded to the fact there's been bits and pieces, but you've had to be self-sufficient. Are you sort of, is it regular check-ins? Is it as and when? What's the protocol there?
A little bit of both, sort of as and when necessary. There's a bit of a good balance of, there's only so much you can say over text messages and all of that. So there's been nice regular updates of how things are getting on, and any work-ons, this, that, and the other, and performances, how's it all going, and all the basics. There's also what's the word I'm looking for, like not an honesty, but that that if you weren't sure if someone was doing the training, you'd check up on them all the time.
Yeah, a bit of accountability
to make sure they're doing it. Accountability. There's like an accountability. That there's a trust that the training's being done properly, and all of that as well, mixed in with the regular sort of updates and check-ins and seeing how everything's going. So there's been a good balance of all of that, and but looking forward to also obviously getting back and getting back into close work with all of them back home, and ahead of what will be a really good season, I think. So.
And just a final one on Notts Connection. I think Monty's out there playing in the same league as you now, and obviously Fergus O'Neill, who's coming over for the start of the summer. Have you had a chance to speak to some of the other lads who have Notts connections in one way or the other while you've been there?
Yeah, I've caught up with Monty a lot. I played a lot of golf and nets and all of that stuff together. So that's been quite good. I think we would probably look to. It was all done a little bit last minute in the patches, so we would look to maybe next time plan a bit in advance and probably stay a bit closer together, because we've been on opposite ends of sort of the town, really. But it's been really good. He's done pretty well from what I've seen, and I think he's enjoyed his time out here. So I think we've seen it's been really good, I think, for our development, for both of us as players. a good sort of life experience as a whole anyway. So.
Mm. And then just a final one. You get back here, and how quick's the turnaround to Abu Dhabi, or do you go straight there?
No, back home there for a week, I think, just under a week before we turn around back to Abu Dhabi. So it's short and sharp. Get back in for a couple of indoor sessions and then back outside.
Do you feel like that's
and then into the university fixtures. Sorry.
No, do you feel like that's sort of the start of the real preseason, I guess, when you go to Abu Dhabi, having had the experience of last year when you did go from big indoors and to transition to
yeah, definitely. I mean, when you get, I'm assuming it's going to be, I guess, pretty similar with a few counties over there as well. So it's, when you get out there and you start playing on grass and you get into the games with the squad, it's then it's we're just around the corner. As soon as the new year sort of kicks in, it all creeps up on you very quickly. So that, like, when we go overseas, that's sort of the first real sort of kick start into what will be the season. Getting into your match preparation, match mindsets, and all of those things that you've been working on. Sort of, that's the test now. Can it come out now? Because sort of all culminated up to that point.
Yeah, of course. We'll leave it there because you've got an evening to get on with and a game to prepare for tomorrow. But thank you very much for joining us, Calvin, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Cool. Thanks, OG.